Folks, we are live. Welcome to Iron Rations. I am one of your hosts, Eric Tenkar. With me, the man who at the moment looks like somebody from the History Channel, but trust me, he really isn't.
It's the Anunnaki. It was all about the Anunnaki. The
Oh,
ancient
isn't it
aliens
always?
did it. I forgot about this thing. I didn't. We didn't. But when we talk pre-game here, I'm showing my face. Then I
Right.
mute it or hide it when we're getting started here. And then I forgot this was the guy I did last.
The
time.
guy, the one, the only. It's and he's popped up in more than just certain shows on History Channel. I've seen him on other of those, I guess, Discovery networks. It's like,
this guy's awesome. I love this fucking guy. And I mean, all right, you're watching Babylon 5, Eric. What is that hairstyle? What is that hairstyle? Londo. That's Londo right there, man. That's Londo if I ever seen it, right? Look at that thing, man. Look at that hair.
You need a few gray streaks. Yeah, we actually just finished season 3, I think, last night at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So now we're going.
Nice.
Yeah, now we're going into season 4.
4 is awesome.
So,
dude. Then at 5, it's sort of like, what the fuck is the season exist for? From what I understood, they had to condense. They didn't know they were going to get 5, so they took what would have been 5 and put it into 4. So half of 4 is 4, and half of 4 is 5. So it was kind of like rushed a little bit.
And then it's like, 5. Oh wait, we're renewed. Oh well, okay. Oh shit. Okay. Some. It's a lot of filler stuff as I recall, but I haven't. Still it's fun, and I picked up the. They don't have the Babylon 5 movies streaming on HBO.
Really?
So I had to pick those. Yes, I had to pick those up separately on Amazon, and I also picked up the what is it, Crusade? Man,
you bought that? I didn't. I never watched Crusade or Rangers because I heard bad things about both. So I just never bothered because I didn't want to be. I love Babylon 5 so much, I really do, and I didn't want to be disappointed by what I heard about those series.
I recall they were okay.
Okay.
They were, they weren't like woohoo, but you got to set. What was the old was it the Mad TV skit? Lowered expectations.
Yeah.
You got to set your lowered expectations, and then it goes on from there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I tell you though, it's funny how your taste changed because I was talking about somebody else about this one time. I think actually it might have been our show last couple weeks ago. Deep Space Nine. I never watched it, hated it, thought the whole concept was stupid ass dumb. And then I watched Deep Space Nine. I'm like, God damn, I got to admit, this is my favorite Star Trek series, period. Even above The Next Generation and Heresy, I know, above the original series. I liked it. It wasn't the same Star Trek, but it was a good goddamn series. And they had the same thing with Deep Space Nine as on Babylon 5. They plotted out a full long thing. It was nice.
All right, so Danger 5. I have not watched Danger 5. I just put it up in a tab.
What is that?
It's something. It is the funnest group of special operatives the Allies have to offer. It looks like
what universe are we talking about?
It's an Australian action. It's an Australian action comedy television series.
Oh wow! Really?
Yes. All right. We're gonna. It's got a 8.4 on IMDb and a 92% of Google users like the show.
All right. That's cool. I'm in. I'm down for that.
Apparently, it's free on Amazon Prime.
Really? I got that. That's nice. I mean, shit, I've lived off Amazon since COVID and whatnot. I'll tell you what's another good show, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, it's a little-known show on Showtime, right? It's called Strike Back. Now,
oh God,
you know it?
I binge watched that like 2 years ago.
Yes, right.
Oh my God,
isn't that the badass show? Now here's the just confusing shit. There was an original Strike Back series that lasted one season, and it had a guy in there who didn't make it was like he didn't even survive into the second season. It was like, oh, this was so popular, let's make a real series out of it. So in the real series, they hired 2 new guys, right? And the first guy from the first series was only mentioned in passing in the second series, right? The second series had 2 main guys, and it was such a guy fucking show. If you ever seen Rome, right? The HBO show Rome, if you liked it for for the guy male bonding fucking thing about it, that you will like in Strike Back too, right? It's a guy fucking show. At least the next 4 seasons were. So the first season was weird, stupid, whatever. Ignore the goddamn thing. It was all right. The next 4, fucking awesome. The last few, goddamn stupid, right? Because they got all woke and bullshit. So
and
the 4 seasons,
no problem killing off characters that you think are a main character.
Yeah. Oh like, yeah.
What the fuck just happened with that?
I know. Never thought they would die. Fucking amazing show. I love fucking Strike Back, and I love Rome. 2 completely underrated shows that everybody should goddamn watch, because Strike Back and Rome were guys shows if you liked Conan the Barbarian, the original goddamn thing, you will like Strike Back and Rome. It's a fucking show for guys, right? So I'm just gonna lay it like that. And
Strike Back, the earlier seasons were like, we're on Showtime. Gotta show boobies and sex.
Oh yeah, every episode the guy it's like it was almost like Captain Kirkian, if that's the thing. Kirkian, the Kirkian way. You beam down, you fuck the green chick, you blow some shit up, you kill the guy, you whoop some ass, you beam back up, and you haven't violated the Prime Directive in some weird ass way.
Right.
That was the shit, man.
We need a good rules lawyer for this one, because you gotta make sure.
Yeah.
No, Strike Back was actually now I might want to go back and rewatch that.
I'll tell you what, I don't have cable anymore because I got the basic services. I got Disney Plus, HBO Max because of The Sopranos, basically. I got Disney Plus, HBO Max, Prime, and Netflix, which I'll tell you what, I know some people are going to call me a bitch for this, but I love Lucifer. I love that goddamn show.
My son loves it too. So
I love that show, right? So the final whatever episodes are coming up in September, I'm canceling Netflix after that because the hell with Netflix. They got nothing on I want to watch. They're getting stupider and woker as life goes on. So the hell with them. But I'm just going to keep my basic 3. But I bought the Strike Back DVDs for this.
Doesn't Netflix have The Witcher? See, I would wait.
I think
I would wait till after The Witcher and then cancel.
You know what? I'll just resubscribe when The Witcher comes on.
That's true.
Why give them $10 a month for no goddamn reason? I haven't watched it other than basic stuff. I mean, but the bottom line is I bought the Strike Back DVDs / Blu-rays over the last month or so. I picked them up off of Amazon Prime, weirdly enough. And I'm just going to watch them again because they're fantastic shows. Good stories, excellent action, and they used actual Special Forces consultants to do all of the action scenes. They did.
I didn't realize that. But I knew they were pretty. It looked pretty authentic, man. That was
it does. It really does. It really does.
Huh. They should have used those consultants for the withdrawal from Kandahar. I mean, maybe we would have done a little bit better. Jesus Christ,
getting political now.
No, it's not getting. It's not even getting political. It's just like
it's a shit show out there.
It is a shit show, and I watched a video early today from a Marine Lieutenant Colonel who basically called out his superiors for allowing to happen what happened, and then apparently earlier this afternoon he was removed from his command.
Oh yeah, well, you can't question the authorities.
You can't. Believe me. You don't have your own voice when you're in that position. When you're a cop. I mean, there's a reason why I never use social media using my real last name.
Oh, smart.
Because I was an active cop, and it's like
Plus, back being internal affairs. I mean, everybody's out to get your ass, right?
Yeah, well, I've told the story. I was a few months before retirement when my lieutenant comes up to me. He's like, "Dude, where the hell are you on social media?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'm looking for you on social media. I can't find you." He goes, "You're at this desk every night with your fucking iPad." He goes, listening to different history videos and shit. He goes, He goes, Great Courses Plus. He goes, "I know you're wired in. Why can't I find you?"
You must have an email address, motherfucker.
He goes, I goes, "Why can't I find you?" I go, "I'm not stupid." I goes, "I'm gonna find you." And I swung out for 2 days, and I come back in, and there's the dwarf.
The background guy.
Craig Brasco did that one.
Nice. Yeah.
So
he's a great artist, man.
The dwarf goes, it's on my mailbox. In our little office area. I'm like, I look at it, and he's just there smiling. I go, "Oh, so you found me?" He goes, "Well, I didn't find you." I go, "What do you mean you didn't find me?" He goes, "I had to go to a group 7, our computer guys, because I spent my first day. It was no luck." So he goes, they did a better search than I did. It took them a few hours. I'm like, all right. I go, Lou, do I have to change? Do I have to make a whole new identity online? He goes, no. He goes, it was just a challenge for me. He goes, but to know that you play D&D, he goes, you could run games in the office here because we had the command center. We had worked midnights. I had a bunch of detectives. He goes, we could just like get like 4 detectives and you and I and maybe get everybody like together for like an hour and a half, 2 hours for a game. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Was he busting your balls or was he serious?
No, he was serious. The only problem is he got transferred like 6 days later.
Yeah. Oh,
so it's like, because Matt Finch was going to send us copies of the Swords and Witchery complete book and paperback. Yeah. He was going to hook all this stuff up, and it crapped out, which happens. It was interesting. Yeah. I would have had a great time because, hey, I was on my way out anyway. What's the worst that can happen? I get in trouble. Oh, what are you going to do? Transfer me? He actually got a good transfer. He got transferred.
Playing D&D, how are you going to get? I mean, how do you justify something like that, right?
Oh, well, listen, yeah, it's like, why do we only have 2 detectives manning phones? Oh, because the sergeant and lieutenant have them out in the in the cafeteria running
games.
Yeah,
they're in the middle of a fight. What fight? Yeah. Where? Did I call him?
Yeah. They're killing orcs. Wait a second. Oh, this is before orcs were racist. So we could have killed them back then, and they just would have gone, is that something to do with like Lord of the Rings? What the? I mean, it would have been a very confusing time. By the way, hi to Matt Jackson, hi to Greg Gillespie.
Here. Nice. How you doing?
Yeah,
guys?
both. Your brother is in good company.
Yeah. Speaking of me and my brother, he stopped by after I came home from work. I picked him up here at my house. We had a few, and I smoked a little bit. And life is pretty good right now. So if you have a different sense of how I am or being, that's the exact reason why. So just keep in mind.
Hey, listen. I think Bad Mike has said it's a lot of fun having these live streams when I'm totally lit.
Oh yeah. Live a little, man. Sometimes you just gotta, I'm doing low carb, so rum is the lowest carb thing there is that I can think of. So that's kind of what I'm doing. But I may have blown my carb limit on the rum here today. So
so you mean you're really doing low carb? You're not just like controlled carb.
Going for Rations. I'm trying to lose the shit, man. I gotta get better. You know what I mean? And we were talking about health before we came on because we got a convention coming up, guys. And this is I was wondering if Eric wanted to talk about this, but he made a good point. This is something that a lot of guys our age are dealing with right now. The question, right? I mean, for whatever reason, good or bad, gamers tend to be, I don't want to stereotype, but dude, I think we all could lose some fucking weight, right? So,
in general, we as gamers, I don't want to say we live a sedentary life because we can't all be Greg Gillespie. Some of us, we can't even be a Matt Jackson
or Jeff Talanian. That guy's a specimen for his fucking age. I mean, Jesus Christ, how does that guy have like 0.5% body fat? That motherfucker. He makes us all look bad.
Well, that's because
we don't look good as it is. But
it's like, Jeff, give me your body fat, man. I need to put on a few pounds of extra warmth for the wintertime. Yeah. Like a fucking bear.
Honestly, I don't know how he can measure his body fat by the caliper test. There's not enough skin. But here's the thing. Rum is low carb, dude, compared to other alcohols. I think it's 1 carb per ounce. So you have a couple ounces, you're good to go. Something like that, if I remember right, doing the research. So so that's that's the thing. But you blow your limit, whatever the fuck, you just eat eggs tomorrow, whatever the hell. But the bottom line is, I'm a little bit buzzed tonight. But we were talking about health before we started the show. And because Eric is going to ShireCon, I've been talking about ShireCon forever. ShireCon was canceled last year because of obviously COVID, right? It's coming up in a few weeks. I've sent my money in. I've subscribed. I haven't picked any games yet because I didn't want to exclude people from games they wanted to join because honestly, I don't know if I'm going to go. It's coming up in a few weeks. I am 51, full disclosure. I'm too fucking fat for my height and weight and age. And I got high blood pressure. And here's the thing. COVID is a risk to me. I got my vaccinations. I got both Pfizer's. And I don't know if I'm going to go because you're in a room. Even though the doors are open, the windows may be open. I'm in a room with, 100 people usually show up, Eric?
Right, 100.
Yeah. So, I mean, my brother wanted to go to a bar tonight. And I said, no, why don't you just come to my place and we'll have a couple here. I got the beer you like. I got the rum I like. We're good to go. His wife joined us. We had a little fun, and then here we are. But the bottom line is I'm more cautious than most. I know. I may be more cautious than most old schoolers. I'm more cautious.
Right.
I think Eric and I have a different opinion, right? On some things, related to COVID.
And we do. And listen, I'll be honest with you. My mother isn't freaking out about GyreCon and the 100 people, but she's already freaking out about Gamehole and the couple of thousand people that we'll be at Gamehole. She's like, do you really want to go? Or is this just something you want to do? Now, like I mentioned to Joe before we logged in, I saw my cardiologist on Monday.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take a leak real quick, Eric, so you keep
go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so I saw my cardiologist on Monday, and you have the exam done by his staff, and then he comes in, does the exam, and then after that, a few minutes later, he sits down with you in his actual office at the desk and goes over a few things and tells you when to come back, and you have a little small talk. And he comes in. I heard him talking to the patient after me in the exam room, and they were talking COVID and stuff, and it was like, okay. And then he comes into the actual office, and he's ripping off his mask. Then he sees me, and goes, oh, shit. And he goes, well, I'm readjusting it. It was falling off. And I was like, Doc, we're both immunized, right? Because I've had conversations with him in the past. I know where he stands on masks. And his response was, yes, we are both immunized. He goes, do you mind? I go, no. He took his off, and I took mine off. And me and my cardiologist in my doctor's office were maskless because we were both immunized. Yeah. And his point of view is, and again, you do you. I am immunized because I have comorbidities up the ass.
Me too. Okay? No, I'm not messing around. Your choice is your choice. No judgment. Do what you do. This is just my decision that I'm talking about here,
Right. I mean, I am a cancer survivor. I have high blood pressure. I am a type 2 diabetic. I am obese. Oh, and we'll throw congestive heart failure in just as the I'm beyond trifectas. Okay, it's not a hat trick. Yeah. I check off enough boxes to become stupid. But the reality is, again, if the vaccines are going to work and they don't, keep you from getting sick, they keep you from getting seriously ill or worse.
Yes,
that's the mindset you have to be in. So then he said to me, he goes, have we tested you for antibodies for COVID? I go, I don't think the first time I was here, we did that in the blood test. He goes, all right, we're going to check. So Wednesday he called me and he goes, listen, your blood work looks great. All your, all the numbers for your heart look awesome. He goes, and just as good, if not better. Your antibody numbers are really strong. You got high antibody numbers.
Good.
He goes, you're good. So now, to me, that just reinforces the idea that, hey, I can go to GyreCon.
Yeah.
And I will be, honestly, GyreCon is not getting me nervous. I go to my local pub a couple times a week with my wife. Everybody there is immunized because everybody there is fucking old in the day anyway.
Yeah, I remember that pub. Yeah, older guys.
Yeah. But GyreCon,
great pub, by the way.
It is awesome.
Yeah,
but GyreCon is going to be 100 people. I'm not too worried about that. But I understand why my mother is worried about Gamehole in October. Those numbers are significant. Now, at North Texas in June, pretty much the whole con was maskless. Now, the idea for Gamehole, and now Gamehole initially was like, we are going to require vaccinations, but basically because
on your honor, right? No proof.
It was going to be on your honor, just make an affirmative statement because Gamehole is a con that is very family oriented, has a lot of stuff for kids to do, and since kids 12 and under can't get vaccinated, the idea was let's get everybody that's going there that can be vaccinated so we don't have to mask up.
Yep.
All right. Well, Alex has now changed it to no mask yet, but the policy is now changed to we're going to require some sort of proof of vaccination. Now, that proof can be your vaccination card. It can be a photo of your vaccination card.
Not to be a lawyer all of a sudden, but doesn't it violate some level of HIPAA laws?
Apparently not. I guess. Not to be a non-lawyer, But hey, New York City, theoretically, as of last week, if you go into a restaurant, bar, gym, movie theater, you've got to show your COVID. Your COVID pass.
We just passed that, didn't we, with our trip down to New York? Yeah.
Yes, but not only that, with that, you have to show ID, because New York City doesn't want you just passing one card around amongst the family. You gotta show your ID. To me, I find that, and I want to say maybe the proper word isn't amusing, but I do find it very, very interesting that, well, for you again. Maybe we are going beyond the point of what your privacy is for your medical records to make you show your COVID vaccination, but now you also have to prove that it's your COVID vaccination. So I just, it's this weird thing. Now, remember too, Gen Con is the same weekend as ShireCon.
Oh, really?
Yes, and Gen Con is. They were initially masks, but no vaccine requirement. Now they are masks with a vaccine requirement.
Interesting. I mean, this is a question. We're only bringing this up in nitty-gritty detail because anybody who's going to a convention over the fall, knowing gamers are generally less healthy than the general population, I would guess. I mean, this is just my being, looking at what I see at most conventions. We're all thinking about it, guys. Honestly, what do we do? What are we going to do? And the bottom line is, you make the best choice for you, yourself, your family, your friends, and you do your own thing. There ain't no judgment. Anybody who judges people, you're just being a dick, and you're causing dissension and division amongst everybody who should be united and trying to help each other out.
I mean, we talk about that in gaming, right? It's like we don't want gatekeepers. This is actual real life gatekeeping. You're being kept out of a location if you don't show your papers, right? That is real life. We're like, oh, we hate gatekeepers in gaming. It shouldn't be like, well, you don't play OSR right. You're playing an OSR game with advantage, disadvantage. You are not allowed at my table. What the fuck? But this is just real life. I mean, real life following, not fictional life, but I guess real life following our hobby in some way. Again, if you don't like gatekeeping in game, you should not like gatekeeping in real life. Well, no matter how it goes. Now, I'm somebody who, I mean, again, until the vaccines were out, I was just like, shit, I gotta walk the dog. Let me. It's like, and I generally have trouble with the, especially in the warmer weather with the mask on.
It's brutal this morning, dude. I think it hit actual feels like over 100 today. And even in the morning, I was walking about half a mile from the garage to where I work, and it starts out with a walk uphill because just life wants to fuck me, so I have to walk uphill first thing in the morning, right? So I'm walking uphill, and I got the mask on just out of habit. I'm like, fuck this. I took it off, and I was walking without the mask till I got in, And my God, my brother and Matt are agreeing on things. They're agreeing on intermittent fasting and various things about dieting and all that. So that's amazing. Good. Old school, new school coming together a little bit here, But Eric, Matt lost a lot of weight doing intermittent fasting, and I've been doing it lately.
Really?
So I lost over 50 pounds, since COVID hit. I'm doing good, Skipping breakfast is easy.
Well,
it's like all things. It's like things that you would do.
I'm not endorsing this product, but I got it last week. I got to set it up. I'll probably set it up this weekend.
You have to turn off your background, man.
Jesus Christ. God damn it.
Turn your background off. Kill the background.
All right.
Unless Rachel's naked, don't turn the background off.
There we go. We got it finally.
There you go. Bionic Gym.
Bionic Gym. It ain't cheap. It's about, I think I got it for like $5.50.
Wow. But what is it, dude?
It's like a TENS. If you've ever used a TENS machine for your muscles, if you have a TENS machine, that's when they put those sensors on your body for the muscle, and they go.
Oh yeah.
This is similar, but what it does is it stimulates your muscles in your thighs. So it does what is scientifically, I guess.
Curious, Eric. Do they stimulate muscle in your thighs? Do they attach to other muscles?
I wouldn't do it, but
you don't know.
I don't think I want an electric charge going through my male appendage.
Hey, dude, I tell you, I've been to some clubs in my life. My brother used to go to some decadent clubs back in the day with the goth decadent mix going on there, and there was some shit going on where you'd be surprised how much of a thrill people got off of like electric charges, burns,
I'm sure,
whips, and what was the other thing? Burns, whips, charges, and there was some motherfucker with a machete once took to somebody's back. That was interesting. Anyway, this is a D&D channel. Let's get into it.
But in any case, it does the shiver response, and it does a cardio response.
No, okay.
You can stand and you can literally stand in place and watch your TV, and burn a ton of calories. Okay. As long as you're watching your heart rate and you're not going into like the realms of like
that's cool,
craziness. So I'm gonna hopefully in a week or two I'll be able to review this to some extent on Gamers Health. Cool. Now, as your brother, because I know what your brother wants to talk about. He wants to talk about his brother Joey's Heartbreaker.
Yes.
Heartbreaker, the Bronze Age.
Bronze Age.
If you're Bronze Age Heartbreaker.
I just called it Joe's Fantasy fucking Heartbreaker. Or fucking Fantasy Heart. There's two F's in there, and one's fucking and one's before the other. I don't know which, but yeah. So we started this game, and I'm doing 2 dual campaigns at the same time. I got my brother, our buddy Dwayne, and a few other people from the old 5e game I was running, and that my brother was running back in the day. Got them together. I said, "Hey, I got a new game. I took vacation. I wrote like 23,000 words between the setting and the campaign, the rules rather." And let's try to play this if you want. So they all said yes. And you guys all said yes. We got 5 people in each group. So I'm running a campaign 2 different days. And your guys, the old school fuckers, us, are on Monday nights. And then we're going to do maybe once a month or once every 3 weeks on a Sunday night for my group, my long-term group, right? So it's basically the same thing. It's the Bronze Age rule set and the same setting. So, and I was thinking we might have room for crossover sometimes. You never know. Like DC Marvel. So you never know. And it's all in the same world, the same place. And I'm going to be writing a little bit of fiction for it. And it's going well so far. I mean, I spent a lot of time doing this over vacation. When Tim announced he was going to be done with his Monday game, and he says, "Who wants to run something?" I said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it just because." And we talked about this the last show. And I spent all that time. I was on vacation the last show. I was in the middle of writing it all up.
That's
and I finally got it. Yeah. And so it's all done. And we had our first game on Monday night with the old fuckers, I call them. Right? So the old school guys. And so it was me, you, Tim, Matt. We had Rob Connolly there. And Greg. Right, yeah. It was a fantastic time. It was good. But here's the thing. What we did, or what I wanted to do because I'm doing a different approach for both systems, right? For both groups, I should say. For you guys, I am doing the first session 0, right? And what I wanted out of session 0 was, let's get these guys together because we've all played with some of us, but none of us have played with all of us at the same time. Right?
That sounds like a line from like a fantasy movie.
Yeah, that sounds like The Hobbit. 111 I like all of you, but not some of you as much as I should, or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Because we've all played together. All of us have played together, but not all of us have played together at the same time. Right?
Well, but now here's the thing. I've never actually played in a game with Rob Conley.
That's what I mean.
I've known Rob for years, and he's on my Discord server. Comes hang out on Thursday nights. So it was. It's like having us all,
Oh, and Matt was there too. I don't want to forget Matt. Matt was there too. Sorry, Matt.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm drinking a lot.
I thought you said Matt.
I might have. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah. But it's a good time. You haven't played with Rob, and we have not all come together as one group, right? So it was fantastic. It was great. And what I wanted out of the first session was what I knew would happen. I knew, first of all, guys, I wrote 30 pages of rules and 30 pages of setting. There's no fucking way. Everybody, I know these guys. They're not reading that shit. They're going to skim it. They're going to look at it. They're going to say, it looks like D20-ish. It looks like D&D-ish enough. I'll figure out what I got to go. When I figure out enough when I have to do it. So they didn't read anything. Or some of them read more than others. Put it that way.
Well, I knew what class I was looking to play. So it's like I need to learn about my class.
That's it. Exactly.
And listen, that's how I approach pretty much any RPG as a player. Yeah. It's I need to know what I need to know.
Yep.
As a player, and then I'll expand my knowledge.
And that's how Tim looks at it too.
As a DM, your knowledge has to be so much broader.
Yes, exactly.
So,
exactly. And every DM out there, you will be disappointed when your players don't read the 60,000 pages of setting and background and rules that you write. You will be disappointed, but don't worry, roll with it. Your players will get into it. Tim has the same approach. Tim Shorts is like, you know what? I don't want to know about all the other cultures. I don't want to know all the other stuff. I just want to know what my guy is, and I want to explore the world basically as we go. He doesn't want to know a lot of the background. That's fine. That's cool, man. Because I know Tim gets into it. Tim rolls with it, right? So, you know, $10 to someone who will read everything Joe wrote and create a background for my woodsman. Yeah. But it means I have to share it with him, man. And it's a work in progress. You know, that's the other thing, too. But it was fantastic. So what I wanted out of Monday night, this past Monday, was come together as a group, right? Because nothing, you know, you need to talk, you need to hang out. We've all known each other, but never together in one, we've never been in one room, virtual or otherwise, right? So here we are, all in one room, all in one game. Great fucking RPGers, great players, great DMs, great creators, all in one place. And I, frankly, am intimidated. I will admit it here, live. I'm intimidated by all you motherfuckers because you're all, I think, better than me in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? So I'm like nervous, right? So I'm nervous going into this game night. But here's my goal. Here was my goal. I wanted to come together, talk, roll up the characters, put them in the character sheets. Rob Connolly is a fucking computer genius. He created Roll20 character sheets based on my system. Amazing. Fucking amazing. He created these character sheets. Everything was built in. He programmed it all and he put it out there. So we all had, figured it all out, got our character sheets, bullshitted, told some jokes. I heard your broadcast about this, Eric. Told some jokes, busted balls, guys hanging out, being guys, scratching our balls and drinking beer. It was that kind of a thing. And then we did one basic bullshit combat because I just wanted everybody to roll some dice. I just souped up. It wasn't a balanced thing. It was just, I just threw some basic figurines on the fucking screen, jacked up their hit points in AC, and let's have a fight. Because nothing bonds people better than whooping some ass or dying together. It wasn't meant to be your guys weren't going to die. It was just more to make sure the mechanics of the character sheets worked and you had fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all it was. You just had some fun whooping ass. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You learned the rules a little bit and, you played it out. And it was a bonding moment. That's all I wanted. We got together for 2.5 hours. It was fucking fantastic. It was good. It was good.
Listen, Matt's giving you some
what's he saying?
Some horrible facts. Most people living in the Middle Ages never traveled more than 20 to 30 miles from where they were born.
Yeah.
Every place beyond that was over that way, and they knew very little of the outside world. And that's true. And now, and today, we know way too fucking much about the outside world, right?
Yeah. That's the truth. I mean, the internet, the phone in our hands, we know everything. We know there's no mystery. There's no mystery. And so that's one of the reasons my brother is playing a mage in his version and my version of his, his campaign in my world. And I said, listen, the skill is this, the skill check is the whatever for the equivalent of the 5e Arcana check or whatever you want to call it, right? And I said, but keep in mind, even if you roll the highest possible roll you could possibly get, there is shit that is unknown, right? There is stuff that you won't know because it's not been known yet. There's not this encyclopedia of all the knowledge and you just don't know a part of it. What you know, even the maximum amount you possibly know, is not all that you can know because it's a Bronze Age. There's a lot of mysteries out there, and that's the biggest difference, I think. That's the biggest difference, I think. You don't know what's outside the world, and so that's the exploration, that's the discovery, that's the fun part of the game, to me at least.
Oh no, definitely. That's how I go into. Again, as a player, the DM gets to know all the super secret shit too. Right, and that's how you surprise the players. I always hate. I listen. The reason why I used to really enjoy the World of Greyhawk was because the detail that was given was on such a minimal level that your players weren't going to tell you what was going on where. Whereas with Forgotten Realms, especially as the years went on. Oh, your place would be like, oh, well, over here in Daggerford, this is what's going on in Daggerford. Yeah. No, Elminster would take care of that. We just got to go over. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
You're
fuck
killing
that.
me.
You know what I did for Forgotten Realms? Because the 5e game that I'm still running with my brother is Forgotten Realms, right? And a couple guys. So it is still Forgotten Realms. It is 5e. But what I started this campaign out as, a lot of people don't know this because everybody thinks Forgotten Realms started with second edition. It actually started with the gray box with first edition,
right?
With that dark rider on the dark horse looking pretty great, right? That was amazing art. It was so evocative and it was fucking fantastic. But it was a 1E game. Forgotten Realms was a 1E game. So what I run in terms of Forgotten Realms is 1E gray box Forgotten Realms with Waterdeep in the north and the Savage Frontier. I bring in Thay and I bring in Anarok, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else. It's like my brother says, barely Forgotten Realms. Compared to what people have had over the last 30 years of Forgotten Realms history, I ignore it. We're still back in gray box Forgotten Realms. Yeah, that's it. And so it gives freedom because I'm not bound to anything. And even if I was, I mean, even if somebody brought, my brother doesn't read those, the last 3,000 books they put out in Forgotten Realms. So I run what I want to run. I run, and then just a skeleton. That's all it is. Yeah.
Well, again, that's, I think the way settings should be. I think that less is more when it comes to a setting. Yeah. I like the idea of hints, of those two sentences that are evocative and make your players think of, three different players will interpret it three different fucking ways.
Yeah.
Because then as a DM, you just go, all right, well, now I got my players thinking X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
What sounds more exciting to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of times I find that your players are the ones that give you, as a GM, the adventure scenes that you need.
Yep. They talk.
It's like, I never would have thought of that, but that is better than the storyline that I was thinking about. Yeah. Let's run with that.
Yeah. No, that's that. They give you your business. Let them talk. Throw out that kernel. Throw out the seed, whatever you want to call it, and then let them bullshit amongst themselves. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I like that. I'm going to take that shit.
Well, as Kevin just put it, meta narratives serve organized play, but they aren't D&D with your nearest and dearest. And you're right.
Well said.
Organized play is you need to have something that's like, all right, well, if you're playing at the complete strat, and now you can take your character from that and bring it to organized play for 5e over in Philadelphia as opposed to New York City. Yeah. Bring the character with you. It's all the same. I know. But each campaign, they should evolve differently. And that's...
Yeah, I agree.
I think your method is good.
What I'm wondering is the Greyhawk Grognard, obviously the expert on Greyhawk, like Rob Connolly's the expert on all things, Wilderlands and Judges Guilds. Yep. I wonder if he's there's these people out there who are Greyhawk Gazetteer purists, right? Remember the first thing they put out for Greyhawk was that thin book and the map in the folder? Remember that?
Yes, I had that, the folio.
Yeah, the folio. That's right, the folio, not the Gazetteer, the folio. There's a lot of purists out there, so that's all you need. I wonder where Grognard falls in that. Have you ever interviewed him, man? Have you ever had him on your show?
No, I've already spoken with Joe. We're going to have him, I believe, sometime in September. We haven't locked down a date yet, but we're going to have him on as a guest on
Wednesday.
Talking Crit, yes, on Wednesday.
Dude, let me know when. I'm going to join in. He's a fucking good guy. I like him. He's a smart guy too. He has. If you go to the conventions where Joe shows up, he has these hats for sale. Make Greyhawk great again. I fucking love it. I didn't have enough money.
I gave mine to. I gave my hat to Bill Webb.
Really?
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, I was like, I owe Bill stuff. All right, so I got a list of people that are on the list, and so I can cross off Alyssa Faden because we had Alyssa on on Wednesday.
A couple times.
Yeah, we had her on this past Wednesday.
She's a great guest. I chimed in on a couple of things on the last conversation. Yeah.
Joe Bingaman, he is going to be the guest this coming Wednesday. He's got an old school Kickstarter out. Nice. That's a setting in a box set.
Nice.
So he'll be this coming Wednesday.
Got to go with box set. If you can, box set, just because of nostalgia. It's awesome.
And then coming up in September for dates that have yet to be determined, but I do have. Everybody has said yes. We just have to figure out. I think everybody, but Joe Block has a Kickstarter coming up. But we also have Dirk Stanley, Faraway Land.
Okay, all right.
Dirk, he's also done a Swords and Wizardry version of his Faraway Land setting. Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Okay.
And Jeff Jones, my layout guy, has been doing his own projects. Jeff will be on as
Jeff was playing in our game. Tim's game, right, on Monday night. He gave me the best advice. I was stuck. And And I said, here's the thing. I got the rules. I got the setting. How do I make it more Bronze Age, right? How do I know the Bronze Age. I've been reading about it. I've been watching videos about it, this and that, learning about it. But I'm a little sort of like creatively stuck. How do you make it Bronze Age? And he says, here is basically what he said. He says, what you need to do is find out what the characters look at as virtuous. I don't mean virtuous in the moral sense. I mean virtuous as in what is a good man, what makes a good person in this society. What, when they die, they could say they lived a good life. What gives virtue in the old Greek sense? And I said, wow, that's fucking. It blew my mind that night. I spent hours thinking about this. This is Jeff Jones. One fucking quote gave me 10 hours and 10 pages of rewrites. This fucking guy. One fucking thing like that. That's Jeff Jones. Amazing fucking creative motherfucker, that guy. Awesome.
Hey, he's literally our generation.
Yeah. Smart guy, man. Smart guy. Yeah.
So,
that's good,
I mean, and Jeff's the one that keeps me on track. When I start going off track on other parts of the work with Jeff, he politely prods me. And I will be the first person to say that I can certainly use that, because it's not just general life distractions. I mean, we had the announcement that Doug Ray of North Texas RPG.
Sorry about that, man. I've never met him. I know he's a good friend of yours. I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, he's somebody who, from behind the scenes, has done so much for old school gaming and the old grognards, the initial creators. He's done a lot to fund their projects, to support them. I mean, Tim Kask had a great post on Facebook today about everything that Doug did for him. Yeah, including setting him up with he goes, apparently not just with a new computer, but a new computer with a back door, so that when Tim fucked something up, Doug could go right in remotely and fix it.
That's awesome.
It was just like,
and that says something that Tim trusts him to do that. I mean, that's a good guy. That's a good guy. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. That's I've never met him, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry I never did meet him. Honestly.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because when you first see Doug can be like he's an imposing individual.
Yeah,
he did a career in law enforcement like I did, but he looks like Texas law enforcement.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, it's just like I would not want this individual. Stopping me and then telling me, "Sir, get out of the car."
Yeah.
And go, no, because it wouldn't end well. It just
There's something about those guys, man. My father was stationed in Texas in the Navy in 1966 or 67. My brother, Mike, tell me if I'm wrong on this. The years, but something around that time, right? My father was stationed in East Bumfuck No Man's Land, goddamn Texas, right? And he and his Navy buddies would go out because they were drinking, Navy buddies, right? So they go out to the local bars in this shithole town, right? And one time they're at the bar and there's a bunch of like Hell's Angels kind of guys, right? Hardcore bikers. They were like the true hardcore biker guys. Might have been the Hell's Angels for all I know. Corpus Christi, Texas. Yeah, that was the area. Yeah. So back in the 60s, this is a shithole, a jukebox, the whole bit, and the old West kind of looks and feel to it, right? My father's telling the story. He says these guys, these are biker guys. There's like Navy guys and biker guys. Not a good combination in the bar together, right? Especially when they got some beer in them each, right? And so this guy walks in, and everybody shut the fuck up. And then the biker guys, the Navy guys didn't know who the fuck he was, and the biker guys pretty much finished their drinks and left. He was the Texas Ranger, and they were all scared to death of this motherfucker, 1966 or whatever. This is Walker Texas Ranger thing that Chuck Norris had going. Retro at 50 years, right? That's the vibe. This guy walked into the bar and everybody finished their drinks. Hardcore Hell's Angels types finished their drinks and fucking left. And the Navy guys didn't know what the fuck to make of this. So they just like, who is this guy? They didn't know. So they pretty much left too. The guy closed the bar out. Just by walking in.
All mine.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. No, that's a shit show. I mean, those guys, Texas law enforcement, no joke. Badass. No. That's the heritage there. That's old school heritage, Jesus, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sorry to hear about that, man. That sucks for this guy. That sucks.
Yeah. And what was interesting is that Tim Kask revealed, and I knew Tim Kask had cancer, and I believe they both were diagnosed with colon cancer within like a week of each other.
Oh, jeez.
And Tim came through it okay, and cancer is one of. If you ever wanted to take something that really could screw you up in game, it's something like cancer because you can't predict it.
Yeah.
It is unpredictable. I'm a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
And people have had my cancer and have not survived it.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Yeah.
Cancer sucks shit.
Yeah. My sister-in-law had it. I mean, yeah, it's just shit. It sucks, dude. It sucks. It fucking sucks. We were just talking about a friend who has it now. It's just terrible. It's like, God bless. And honestly, I mean, God bless. If you're dealing with this, my thoughts and prayers do go out to you because it sucks. And I know what you're going through, just as a guy who had family members going through it, forever. So God bless. God bless. Yep. Anyway, we were talking about health and going back to conventions and what are you going to do? We don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
We really don't know. Seriously, fuck cancer. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. But it's up to you guys, whatever you're going to do. But getting back to D&D stuff and our campaign, I mean, I'm doing a little bit differently, Eric, with you guys as opposed to my brother's group, right? My brother's group, something Tim did with us. Now, I was playing Snickle in our group, right? He was a gnome.
My sympathies, Matt, by the way. My sympathies.
Yes, Matt. So I'm playing Snickle. Matt Jackson's favorite character of all time was named Snickle, and he hates gnomes. So I played Snickle the gnome. So for better years.
So now, this is the kind of ball busting that can happen.
Oh yeah.
Even over VTTs. When we again, as I said earlier this week, there are people that say you can't get that feel for a real face-to-face tabletop game around a VTT. Okay. And you know what? You can with the right fucking group.
That's it.
Yes, you can.
Yes, it has to be the right group. We're busting balls. We're busting chops the whole time. It was fun. It was a bad. Joe's a dickhead. So I'm playing Snickle for Tim. Me and Tim had a one-on-one game session a lot it's like random. Hey Joe, you want to play tonight? No, yeah, it's cool. I got Snickle. Boom, we're in, right? We're playing Snickle. We're in. We're having fun. And Snickle had a deep background, right? A really deep character history because on a one-on-one game, there's a lot of stuff you could role play out and get into your character, right? And it was a small man and a little gnome rather in a big city, so he was broke and poor and this and that, whatever. And so Tim expanded it and he says, I'm going to do a city campaign. Let's bring some people in. So we had some people come in and Snickle was part of that, but he had the deepest character history, and so it was so much fun. Now, what Tim did, drawing upon the Snickle experience, I think, was he had a game session or two for each of the new characters, right? So each of the 3 or 4 new characters, each had a couple games with him. They developed backgrounds. They developed context. They developed the history within the world. It was their own. And then he brought us all together, right? He brought everybody together in the game that he ran for a few months. It was fantastic. Now, what I'm doing with my brother, as opposed to you guys, is my brother's group. There's 5 of us, right? And including me, 6 with me. And we're running through it, and I'm doing a separate session with each of them. Or if they know each other, if they've developed a history together, they know each other, they're going together, right? So my brother and my friend Dwayne are doing a session together. We played the other night, and we're going to play another session, at least maybe 1, maybe 2 more. And then I'm going to play 1 or 2 sessions with each of the other players. And then I'm going to bring them together because it was so awesome when Tim did that with us. We had contacts. We had a history. We had context. We had different experiences within the world already. So when it came time within Tim's game to do, okay, here's the situation we have in front of us. What are we going to do? We each drew upon our own past experiences with the one-on-one session to say, I'm going to talk to Sid, the bartender in this bar. And we're all like, who's Sid? Right. They didn't know we didn't know who Sid was. He did. He went to talk to Sid. I talked to Bertha. He talked to Jim. He talked to Bart, right? It was fantastic. It was fantastic. And so that's what I'm doing with my other group. With you guys, I did one group setting to bring us all together in one game because I knew we needed something different. My other group had been playing together for years, literally years. And so bringing them together, we didn't need the bonding. We didn't need that separation. We needed a separation. Let me say this again. We needed the separation, but not the bonding. We needed to have different backgrounds and histories. So we brought more to the table. You guys needed the bonding. You know what I mean? Because though we knew each other.
No, none of the characters knew each other, and all the players. But here's something else, Joe. Mm-hmm. If you were doing this face to face, you couldn't do that.
No, exactly.
You can't do one-on-one sessions with a group of 5 or 6 players and set everybody up separately. And okay. Well, you come over on Wednesday night from 7 to 9:30, and you're not getting people to come over and play face to face with you one-on-one.
Yeah,
on a schedule like that, but you can do that with the VTT.
Yeah, in your underwear.
It becomes more. Yes. Technically, I'm wearing underwear right now.
From the waist up.
Listen, before the show, I was like, wow, I think my shirt's unbuttoned down to my navel. I probably should button up a little bit.
Let me put it this way. There's a reason you see that Ancient Aliens motherfucker on the screen right now besides me. Besides the fact that I'm a private person, there's another reason. So, yeah.
The reason why I do the virtual background, besides the fact that it's the tavern background, and of course I get this Minbari effect. No, sorry, not Minbari effect. I get a Kosh effect from Babylon 5 that glow around my head as I move around. You know.
Yeah.
Look.
Gosh.
But
man.
Anyway, it's on HBO. It's on HBO.
I got the DVDs, man. I got the Blu-rays or whatever DVDs.
I have the DVDs somewhere, but I think my son took them to Utah with him, so they're probably in storage right now in fucking Utah. So I was like, I'm not even gonna bother looking for it or asking for it, because I can watch it on HBO, and I'll just pick up the movie separately.
Yeah.
But
bottom line, I took a different approach with each group. Your group, I wanted to get the guys together to bond as a group of guys. We all knew we all knew each other. We've never all played in one group. That was what was required, right? For my brother's group, we've all played together for decades in some cases, right? So I just wanted to get a different background and explore that area. So that's what we're doing now. And so different approach, different groups. Now, what I'm looking forward to is perhaps, let's say some Monday night, right? 5 of us are in the group. Let's say 3 people can't make it for whatever the hell reason. I call my brother up. I call Dwayne up. Hey, you want to jump in? Boom. We have a crossover.
Right.
Here. That's awesome to me. That is fantastic, because I am actually guaranteed, determined to make it so that some things that each group does affects the other group. You're in the same timeline. You're definitely in the same timeline. So it should be fun to do something like that, I think, because it goes back to like dungeon graffiti. Remember? Tavis.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yes.
Right? 2000 copper dungeon graffiti. Tavis Allison reached out to me because I had reviewed, you all know the 2000 Copper's history if you haven't Googled it, but the whole Ragnardia bullshit, blah, 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 right? So Tavis reached out to me after he had revised everything. I said, this is fantastic, man. I said, do me a favor. In the room with the 2000 Coppers, right? Sir the Fist was here. And he did, because he loves dungeon graffiti. So that's officially in James Malazewski's adventure. Sir the Fist was my Flail Snail's character's name. Sir the Fist of Uther. He had died several times, reincarnated into a different species a couple times, and he still lives. And so dungeon graffiti of Sir the Fist was here is in the 2000 Coppers room of Malazewski's Dwemer Mount, which is the greatest victory I may have ever had in my fucking life.
Immortalized.
It was fantastic. He put it in there. He put it in there. I remember when it came out, Gusty LaRue. Remember Gus LaRue, Gus L?
Yes.
He was amazing, creative, amazing motherfucker. He was actually a lawyer out in California somewhere. He was a creative guy, extremely good at D&D, and then he created this thing called this long 2-mile long ship or something like that, and we adventured within the ship, and it was this ship lost in some limbo somewhere, and it was like picture the Titanic that never sank, that was 2 miles long, and we're adventuring within it, and had all the factions and parties and groups and this and that, and it was an amazing game that we played with him. But he reached out to me and says, hey, did you know that Sir the Fist, who he played with as an NPC, or as a fellow Flail Snails guy, was in this adventure? I said, yeah, dude, I put it in there. I asked Travis to do it. It's like, okay. So I think Gus he went silent. I think his blog went private or something, and his game may still exist, but dude, he ought to publish that goddamn thing.
I think when Google Plus, when G Plus went tits up, I think a lot of people went silent. That
I think so
were
too.
involved in that. And also right before it went and belly up, it had the huge OSR shakeup was going on, and that quieted a lot of people too.
That's the whole lot of the bullshit, dude. Because I've started drinking rum early before we started, I got to take a leak again. I will be right back. Why don't you describe what happened with the Google Plus OSR shakeup? That would be interesting. That might be.
I could just describe what's going to go on with your bladder. How about that?
All right, all right. I'll be right back. Go for it.
No, there was. I guess I'm not even sure what the time frame is. How was it a year and a half before Google Plus came to an end? There was an honorable OSR. It became Sword Dream, all this stuff. Part of the I don't even call it growing pains. It became if you believe this, you are not proper. So there was a schism. I guess kind of like the Catholic Church back in the Protestant Reformation, and from it, not much else. I guess the break off churches, religions, the break off OSRs, in the end, kind of faded. But a lot of people who were very into sharing in the OSR and didn't want to get involved in the bullshit, for lack of a better phrase, political bickering that was going on. A lot of them just took their bowl and went home. I can't blame them for that. You know. Oh, I hear Joe. I think he's pouring himself another rum and coke. I think the secret is. Did you pour yourself another drink?
I got some ice, and I got the bottle near me. So yes, in fact.
Oh, all right. So by the way, I did do a Google search, and rum has 0 carbs.
That's what I'm saying. Rum is low carb. I know it's high sugar and this and that because they're from molasses, but vodka and rum. But
it's consumed. It's made with sugars, but it's consumed in the process of turning it into alcohol. So can I drink rum on a low carb diet? Wine and light beer. I mean, I've gotten some wines that are 0 to 1 carbs. I mean, really good. So the pure forms of liquor like rum, whiskey, gin, and vodka are all completely carb free. Oh, geez. I guess I you know what?
The purest form, though.
If you'd asked me 10 years ago, would I enjoy drinking whiskey? And I was one of my bartenders at the same pub, not John. He would always hit. A lot of times you get buybacks. He was very generous with the buybacks. He'd be there in the evenings, Rich and I. But the buybacks wouldn't be another beer. You would have your 2 beers, and you get bought back with either a Tullamore Dew whiskey or a Fireball whiskey.
I think he bought us Tully when I was there. He bought Tully first, didn't
he? John did.
Yeah, good guy.
But another evening bartender used to like. Oh, you'd have, there were times I'd have a beer and it would come with a shot. And it was just like, oh man, I'm going to be fucked up. So
it's called a good night, man. It's called a good night.
Well, now I do my I used to do Fireballs. Don't do Fireballs anymore. I will make my own Fireball whiskeys at the house with the cinnamon sticks and stevia. But if I'm going to drink whiskey at the pub, I do it on the rocks, and I can sip it. And again, no carbs and low fluid intake with congestive heart failure. Again, my heart's doing, all things considered, my heart's doing really well. But
good.
Why put it into a position where it might not do as well?
Exactly.
Watch your fluid intake.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. Pound for pound, ounce for ounce, carbs. You know, if you're doing low carb, rum and whiskey, best 2 things to do. Check the ingredients, obviously. Check the brand, the manufacturer.
Right, you can't. Fireball whiskey is like, it's like scoops of sugar, but put into the fucking bottle. So, but you know, again, there's an easy way around it if you're willing to age something for like 5 days. And by the way, I did try this, Joe, with a $12 bottle of whiskey, as opposed to my normal $30 bottle of Tullamore Dew.
What the hell was a $12 bottle? Was that? It's not even. That's like the low end bottom shelf Jack Daniels. What are you looking at? What did you get?
Dude, it wasn't even Jack. Dude, Jack would have been a huge step up. It was. I was like, well, it does say it's triple distilled. It wasn't triple. If it was triple distilled through somebody's dirty socks. All right. I mean, I had it first off. I had
wino. That's wino beer, man. That's wino whiskey, rather. That's something that is.
I initially poured some over ice before I did anything with the rest of the bottle, and I was like, oh my god, that was harsh. I mean, a good whiskey will warm when it goes down.
Yeah.
But this just kind of like tore to the throat when it went down. Oh my god.
Oh, that's bad. Bad.
So I was like, well, maybe the stevia and cinnamon sticks will make this better. And did they make it better? Yes.
Can't make it worse.
Well, did it make it good?
Yeah.
Did I finish the bottle in the end? Yes, but it wasn't like a.
It's all that matters.
I think Bad Mike was the one who told me that life is too short for bad whiskey.
Yeah, that's true. If you're gonna drink something good at least. I mean, you're gonna get a buzz. Why, if you can afford it, don't destroy your liver with the shit stuff, and your throat and everything else. Jesus Christ, dude, have you ever thought of having? There was a lot of old schoolers on the Google Plus stuff who were really good. I mean, they were interesting. They had a lot going on, and then, like you say, a lot of them went dark, right? Gus went dark. Gus L, right? Gus the
David says something about Gus L's blog saying something about toxic people and him quitting. And again,
that's how Google Plus ended.
Yeah, Google Plus ended in flames. It was not, and it wasn't just a single schism. Like it's like you got the Pope and the anti-Pope, and it's like, all right, well, we got. No, it literally became little fiefdoms fighting against each other.
It was bullshit.
And it was...
I left a couple of years. I took a break from all D&D and all social media D&D related a couple of years. I was like, fuck this bullshit, Yeah. It just got too bad. And then I came back just at the end of Google Plus. I came back and ended. Then we all moved everywhere else, right? So, here we are. MeWe and everything else, right? So, yeah. I
mean, I maintain a presence on Facebook, which I wouldn't even touch Facebook initially when I found Google Plus. I'm like, I don't need to go on. I don't need to go on. Yeah, but then I started, even before Google pulled the plug on Google Plus, you could see the signs that Google Plus was ready to burn itself to the ground, even if the company didn't pull the plug. It was, there was a toxicity going on there that. Listen, it's part of social media in general. But.
Oh, yeah. It's disgusting. But have you thought about inviting some of the old Google Plus guys onto the show? I don't know what they're doing now, but I would love to talk to Gus. I would love to talk to this guy. He was a great DM. He was a great guy. I mean, even, dare I say it, I didn't prep you for this question, but I'm going to put you on the spot because I have just enough rum in me and enough weed in me, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you ever thought, here's the deal, me, you, invite Raji.
Oh, I could do that. I could see that.
That would be fun. I think that would be interesting.
Listen, I respect everything that Raji has done.
Yeah.
And I feel disrespected for what he hasn't done. The ref book. I mean, I'm going to throw that out there. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, we could invite him, but I suspect that the prerequisite will be there could be no mention of the ref book. The ref book does not exist. You shall not bring up the ref book. The ref book that is overdue shall not be a topic, yada, 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 because there have been times when the reason why James has updated anything about what's going on with the ref book is because social media required that he do so.
You're causing me to go onto Indiegogo now for the latest fucking update.
Oh, it must be ages ago. It must be like
it's gotta be, right?
I'm gonna probably have to do the kick the tires.
Yeah, where we at now kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's cover a few outstanding crowdsourced projects.
There it is.
The ref book. What was the last update?
All right, here is LTFP hardcover and adventures project. All right, I'm going to look at it now. Where is it? You may also like, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't looked at this in forever because who the fuck goes on Indiegogo? Comments, updates. All right, latest update, December 4th, 2015. What the fuck? How is that possible? 5 years ago? All right, artist Anna Pure Honin has posted some of the individualized art sheets did a couple of years ago and some of the books, blah, 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 blah. Before that, 2013.
No. The last update is February 20th of 2020.
What am I looking at? I'm looking at updates under updates.
All right, hold on a second. I'm going to share.
Are they not in order?
I don't know. Indiegogo's a little weird, so I'm gonna share a screen. Hold on, because I know people at home are. All right, so this is. Come on.
What do you want? Are you in Indiegogo?
Yeah.
I got 35.
Over a year ago.
How am I looking at
75 updates. I don't know. I got 75 updates.
I got 35 updates. What the fuck? Am I an idiot here? What the hell's going on? Are you looking at? Oh, I'm looking at the hardcover and adventures project. I am an idiot, guys, and I blame all of this on the rum. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
You got it.
So, a year and a half ago, the last thing. Now he's updated stuff on social media, kind of, sort of, but the big news from a year and a half ago is that he had what he considered a complete draft in hand. Nearly 300,000 words.
Wow.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. That's a lot of fucking shit.
So now he estimated that's going to lose 10 to 20%. And if we say it's going to lose 20%, it's still going to be, 240,000 fucking words?
Yeah.
So part of the problem is people are requesting refunds, right?
Yeah.
This is going back a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
People are requesting refunds, and this is before the House of Raggy nearly coming down a year ago.
Yep.
And for all the bills coming due, and yet he survived that. Let's see what the comments say. 2 months ago, what in nine hell is going on with this project? I don't have Facebook, and I shouldn't have to do detective work across Discord, Twitter, and message board to find scraps of rumor as to its status.
That's pretty good, I gotta say.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. I think I will have to do an update on this on the blog side. I'm gonna have to shake some trees because and listen, do I expect something that is going to be worth the wait? No. Nothing is worth the wait that we've had on this one.
It looked good, though. It looked good at the beginning. He put out a great ref book on his Grindhouse edition.
Yeah, and I figured just only be better, but I would like to see, like somebody said, give us a draft, give us a PDF,
give me something. Show me that my money is not wasted.
Well, your money was wasted. I mean,
I know.
And I don't hold it against James personally. He went through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And
like I said, I think on this podcast, on this YouTube video,
right.
YouTube show, dude, he looked like he went through a lot of shit. And I said, you know what, dude? Keep my money. It was $40? I don't give a fuck. Keep the money, run with it, do whatever you got to do with it. I don't care if I ever see the book again. So I'm not busting balls about the ref book. I'm just curious how he's doing, honestly. That's what I want to know. How you doing? What's going on? Where are we at? So.
I mean, he's still doing other projects, right? He still has other stuff coming out. He's just not kickstarting anything anymore, which is wise because this is an albatross around your neck if you want to kickstart something.
Yeah.
Especially when he gave a due date so far in advance, because the joke was, there's never any way we're going to hit this date. I'm going to be done years before this. And now, years later, he still hasn't come anywhere near to completing it.
Well, that's why I pulled up the most recent thing, not even reading it, assuming it was the hardcover ref book. And I'm looking at why I have a different number of followers and updates than you do. But it's because I assumed the most recent thing was the most recent thing. I forgot. He put out the ref book, and then he put out a whole different campaign, which he fulfilled. Didn't fulfill the ref book. I'm like, what the hell? That's why I pulled out the wrong thing, bottom line. So sorry about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
34,000 raised. That's all. 34,000 raised.
Matt Jackson says this is all Joe's fault because he said, I don't care about the book. And Joe, as you all know, Joe speaks for the entire community.
Absolutely. I am the OSR motherfucker.
There you go. So now I want somebody to get me a clip of that so I can have that as my phone ringer. My ringtone. I am the OSR, motherfucker. I am. I used to have, I don't know. I mean, and this is going back to when I was an active cop, as an active sergeant. This is going back to 2015, 2016. I don't know if anybody else has seen, it's still up there on YouTube, the Retarded Policeman series on YouTube. And okay,
what is that?
So it's actually done by a pair of brothers, one of whom has Down syndrome, and he plays the retarded policeman. And I've seen interviews with him outside of the series, wow. and he embraces not just the role, but he embraces acting in general. And he talks about it. He goes, "No," he goes, "I think it's funny as heck. I think we pull it off perfectly." But there's a jingle for it, and it's like, "The retarded policeman." That's me. I had that I had that as my cell phone ringer. So I'd be sitting at the desk on midnights in internal affairs, and I'd have a duty captain calling me direct with a question that he didn't want to go through a department phone, and you'd hear, "He is a cop. That's truly insane. He is the retarded policeman. That's me." And I'd have my detectives looking at me like, "What the?" I go, "Hey, that's me." So
it would be worse if you had attributed that ringtone to just your boss and he heard that, right?
Well, no. Usually my immediate supervisors were pretty good. It's usually the supervisors above those supervisors that are the jackasses. It's like you're
political people rather than the real cops, basically, right?
Yeah. No. So, I mean, but then again, there are certain, like the inspector that we got shortly before when we had the change of leadership going on across the department, and they were shuffling people around. I got a new inspector. My old inspector I used to share an office with. My new guy comes in and he only had one goal in mind: making chief, next rank up.
All right.
Everything he did was to make chief. And one of the things he did was, in the end, was take me out of my position, throw me into the command center temporarily to cover vacations. And I told him flat out, and I was like, Inspector, I've been here long enough. I've been a cop for over 19 years. I go, don't bullshit me. I go, I know you want to open up my position for a political, I don't say political appointee, but somebody who has, I was expiring. You couldn't. Yeah. There was no carrot to give me. I had a year left, and I knew I was leaving.
Yeah.
I go, I know you want to put somebody else in my position because you want somebody that would be beholden to you and would be looking to get a discretionary promotion. Whereas for me, I don't care. He goes, no. It's only temporary. I go, Inspector. Again, just don't insult me. And then 4 weeks later, this temporary assignment was obviously permanent.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then, Eric, do you like working on the 4 to 12s? I'm like, well, I like it better than I would like the midnights. All right, I'll just ask you. Week later, midnights.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny.
But here's the thing. I was pissed until I retired, and then I realized, hold on a second. He put me on midnights, which actually was quiet. I was retiring, so I wasn't caught on.
And it got you more money, right?
And it got me more money in my pension.
Because your retirement was based on how much the last 2 years are worth, right?
Yep. So I was like, all right, I really can't get mad at him. And then a year ago, pretty much exactly a year ago, when I got hospitalized for the third time, after passing out, the ambulance is taking me, and I'm talking to the paramedic, and he's like, looking at my ID, and he's like, "Oh, I see you're a retired cop." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Where'd you work?" "Well, I left out of internal affairs." "Oh, did you know Donnie?" And I'm not going to say the inspector's last name. I go,
"Donnie Brasco?"
No. I go, Donnie. It's the last name that is a large breed of cat. And I was like, yeah, I know him. He goes, "How well do you know him?" I go, "I work for him." He goes, "Oh, I play poker with him every Sunday night." I'm like, nice. Really? I go, is he an asshole at the poker table? I goes, "Well, he's less full of himself since he retired." I'm like,
Bet
I
you
was like, okay.
He retired as chief, though. I bet you.
He did retire as chief.
Yeah,
he retired as chief, and then I think left within a year because he need a year in rank to make all that money pensionable, right?
Yeah.
So whatever. Yeah. He took care of me in a way that I was not going to willingly take care of myself.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go on midnights, but fuck it.
Helped you out in the long run.
Yeah.
Interesting because all right, here's a weird circle back. Bronze Age, the game, right?
Yes.
Back to D&D shit. Social stratification is a huge aspect of that. And Americans, I think, and rest of the westernized world. I mean, we look at you can do whatever you want with your life. You can ascend, you can achieve, you can do big things and grow. And you started out as this, and you're going to end up as that, right? We take this for granted as if it was always the case. No. Stratification, what you're talking about here in the police department, caste systems,
yes,
traditional systems, cultural norms were back then of you started at a certain place, you ended at a certain place. You didn't try to ascend or achieve or go better. You weren't going to, right? Almost like the old India caste system, right? And that's what I've been trying to capture in this. And yes, there are uncomfortable things. Slavery is a thing, right? Because it was a thing back then. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not condoning it. It was a thing back then, so it's in my game to give it a little sense of realism. Although it's not Earth, it's inspired by Earth. Okay, so there was a thing, right? And so you're dealing with that issue. You're dealing with stratification in terms of social status. I ran a game with my brother the other night, and my friend Dwayne, and he is a mage in this system. As you know, mages are kind of special in this system, Eric, right?
Yes.
And so he got his ass kissed all over the place, right? He was getting special treatment, which he busted my balls. He says, my guy in the 5e game is a Waterdeep noble, and he never gets his ass kissed by anybody. He gets his balls busted all the time. No, that's just me busting your balls. But this, I'm trying to make it more realistic in a sense. This is my own game, my own setting. I'm trying to make it more real. And so that's a cultural consideration I got to take into consideration, right? Because I want to make it more accurate. It may not be politically correct, but certain aspects of it definitely aren't politically correct. They wouldn't survive. They wouldn't survive the publication. I mean, that would be canceled instantly, right? But I'm trying to make a more realistic Bronze Age system, right? And if you look back at even Rome, which wasn't Bronze Age, Iron Age, what did Caesar do? He conquered areas of land, the Gauls and whatnot, killed the men and took the women and children into slavery, which, again, I'm not endorsing. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about historical realism. And I don't want to go into the badness of it. I just want to make it a real reality within my world, within my system. And not to endorse it again, but just to make it a reality that people have to deal with, because I want to shake the minds up of my players. I want to shake the consciousness up. I want to throw them curveballs and things they never thought about, because you know what? This isn't Kansas anymore. That's all I'm to think at the end of the day. Wow, where am I? What am I at? I want to create an immersive environment of things that are so different and foreign to what we deal with every day, that I want them to feel like they're there. They're in a different place. And I'm trying to create a system where everybody is always pretty much in character, right? And during game. And so that's something I'm not used to doing, which I'm trying to endeavor to do right now. To me, that's the best part of DMing something like this that you created, because you're sharing your creation that you have in your brain, that you put on paper, and you're putting into a Roll20 and then Discord and everything else that we use, and everybody's living in it. That, to me, is the best part of fucking D&D. I created something, and now you're in it, virtually, right? You feel like you're there, you think you're there, you're playing like you're there, we're all there together. That, to me, is the fucking part of D&D.
You're basically answering the question from John Miller. To a large extent, what inspired you to make a Bronze Age campaign specifically? You've touched on some of it, but why Bronze Age specifically?
What was weird? The first time it hit me was I was going to a year ago, July, so 13 months ago. Thought I might have had COVID. I was out of work, and I'm like, let me go get tested because I'm paranoid, right? I go down to a test, and on the way there, it was about an hour and a half drive, because between this place is closed and this place is too busy. I ended up at the place, and I needed something to distract myself from the fact that I might have COVID. So I looked onto YouTube, and I was just looking at random ass videos. And for whatever reason, somebody's Bronze Age video came up, and it was one of those documentary things, 2 hours of the Bronze Age, and it was about the Sea Peoples. And I was like, this is fascinating. I've never really in my life, other than to know that the Bronze Age was about bronze. I don't know jack shit about the Bronze Age, right? And so I started watching these Bronze Age videos over COVID and over quarantine, and I was like, this is fascinating shit. I started buying books and watching videos and watching documentaries and reading about it, and I was like, this is interesting because this has the flavor of old school. This has the nitty gritty, harsh environment of old school D&D, and there is no other setting I could think of. It's almost like Conan's Hyperborea, right? Or Jeff Talanian's Ash. It has a certain feel to it, right? That I thought lended itself to D&D very, very well. And so I had it in the back of my mind for about a year now that I want to do a Bronze Age setting. And I was tinkering in my mind about what rule set, definitely not 5e for what I was looking for. Even a house rules 5e. I was set on old school essentials, and then I went to Ash again, which is now Hyperborea for 3rd edition. Laney's putting out, buy it all. Back it, by the way, if you haven't, or buy it when it comes out. But I say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to make my own game because I think the setting and the rule set need to be well integrated with each other. You can't just hack and slash on either. And so I decided, you know what, these things inspired me. I spent a lot of time watching them and reading about them, and I'm going to do something on Bronze Age. And so I wanted to capture that feeling, that allure. And I did. I hope I did, at least. I mean, I don't want to say I did. I want to hope I did. By the end of the campaign, you guys will let me know whether you hate it or not. But so far, I'm looking forward to it. That's the reason I said Bronze Age,
So, I'm looking forward to when it goes down to like a professional layout.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe puts it up for sale. That's what I'm looking forward to. Because I can say, I had a little influence on this. I had some minorly good ideas to throw into it.
Yeah, you did. All the fighter's ability to battle wound combat healing. That was all you, man. After our last time we did this about 3 weeks ago, we had a game, and we had a YouTube show. And afterwards, Eric and I talked for about 20 minutes about the setting, what we were talking about, the rule system, and he suggested that. So if you see the fighter has some battlefield medic treatment kind of like healing up, that's all Eric right there. It was perfect. It was just
there you go.
It was just what I needed because we had the overnight with the Mystic, and Eric had the Warrior, I call it, right? But dude, I don't know if I could ever publish it. The certain environment that we're living in now has to sort of go away for a while, I think, before I could publish things with slavery and brutal, harsh stuff, right? I mean, maybe some old schoolers will buy it. But speaking of layout, Matt Jackson, just because he's Matt Jackson, I sent him all the PDF and then I sent him the Word document, and he laid it out. And I think it was A5, Matt. It was A5 format with some fucking art and a mock layout with fonts and style and borders and everything else. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how'd you do that? He just did it because he's Matt. He pulled it off. And I'm like, holy shit. So we did a mock-up already. So I have a mock-up layout already of this damn thing. Yeah.
We just you don't need to kickstart it. You can. But if you did kickstart it, well, I might be too big for Zine Quest next year.
Yeah.
God only knows you'd have to do like a series of like 5 zines.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work. It would be a Kickstarter, but here's what I would do. If I ever did a Kickstarter, I would have everything written, and I'd have the art paid for, and I'd have the layout done. Every fucking thing would be done because I'm not going to be that douchebag who can't. I'm not going to get on your fucking broadcast about Joe the Lawyer's Kickstarter failed for 19 years. Where the fuck's the book, Joe? I'm not going to be that guy. So I'm going to basically have everything done if I ever do something for this, and then put it out there. And the Kickstarter will basically fund, the printing. It won't fund anything else, just the printing. And then I'll just mail it out and have it mailed out, or have some fulfillment company do it, like Old School Essentials has that other company, Necromantic, whatever games or whatever they're called. What the hell are they called?
I want to say, I want to say Neurotic Gnome. Necrotic Gnome. Okay.
Ask somebody else.
Neurotic Gnome.
Yeah. If I ever did a Kickstarter, though, definitely you get the credit. All these guys to be in the credits for playing.
Everybody's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It grows. It's organic. The whole process is organic. That's a lot of why it's fun.
Yeah. Some of the videos I'm watching on YouTube, there's one guy. He's an author, and my brother came over tonight, and there was some boxes at the door because I'd bought his books. He's the guy's name is Dan. Right, and Dan Davis. Now he put out a lot of books on the Bronze Age because he was inspired by it, like I was, and he was a novelist. He wrote some fiction, 3 books on the Bronze Age, and he did a bunch of YouTube videos. So if you look up Dan Davis author, that's the guy's name. YouTube, Dan Davis author, 30,000 subscriptions. he has a great set of YouTube videos on the Bronze Age, and I use a lot of that for inspiration and just knowledge. I've incorporated a lot of that into my game, and he's talking about how he incorporated that into his setting. I swear to God, why do you need college? Why do you need Great Courses Plus or any of those other $15 a month things? Motherfucker, YouTube is the greatest educational resource I think the world has ever known. You know,
really,
you can learn anything you want on there. He has Dan Davis author, has a great stuff on there. Look it up, and it's just good. And I learned a lot from him. And I just got a few of his books, came in the mail today. I'm going to read his fiction because I'm going to use that to inspire my game. So it's all circular. I watch his videos, which inspired his novels, and I'm going to watch his videos, which inspired my game. And now we're going to have, a game that's inspired by his books as well as his videos. It's perfect circle right there. Fantastic. And by the way, guys, just my avatar, the Anunnaki did it. It's all about the ancient aliens.
Isn't it always? They came in the Bronze Age, man. They came in the Bronze Age.
They actually, some of the Babylonian myths, if you read them right, they might have come in the Bronze Age. Who knows? If you read Zachariah Sitchin, guys, any conspiracy theorist knows what I'm talking about when I say Zachariah Sitchin. And also, any Joe Rogan viewers have heard of that too, if you watch any of those Graham Hancock videos. So yeah. But yeah, so I mean, bottom line, I'm looking forward to this campaign, man. I'm hoping maybe someday I might publish it. It's there, it's in writing. That's one thing I wanted to make sure it's in writing, so I have it. It's not winging it all the time,
John Miller, decent idea. Just put a trigger warning at the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
Like, that's with their oil products. This game reflects the customs of a former age. It's not an endorsement of slavery or misogyny.
That's perfect. There's a lot of it in there. I mean, it's completely slavery, right? I mean, there is slavery. There's no way around it, but it was the age, it was the time, it was the era. And misogyny, it was the era too. I mean, there was a certain different culture. And I'm trying to capture that because I want my players to feel like they're in a different place. I don't want medieval Europe. That's been done to death, right? It's been done to death. I wanted something different. And I wanted you to feel like when you're playing this, you're in a different place. And I'm trying to encourage always being in character, right? My brother and Dwayne the other night were shocked, and I was pushing that, because they hadn't seen it and I hadn't warned them about it. I was just always trying to stay in character. And so they got it. And I think it enhanced the game. You're in a different world. You want to be immersed in this different world. Why do we play D&D? We don't want to be in the real world. We play in a different world. And to the extent different, there it is. Yeah. Oh, Bright Insight, Matt. Fantastic channel. Bright Insight's a great channel. Yeah. Ancient history, all that kind of stuff. A little warning would have been cool, says my brother. Yeah. I wanted to throw it at you, though. See what happens,
No warnings. This is not a safe space.
You don't need no warning. Go to your crayons and coloring books, you wimp.
No warning for you. You're Joe's brother. You don't need a warning. You should know by now.
Yeah. What's funny, man, is the other week we were playing our Saturday night game, and Dwayne isn't playing in it right now. He was taking a hiatus because of family shit. And so it's just me and him, and I'm sitting there, I'm setting up, I'm on roll 20, I'm getting the map ready, I'm getting the adventure ready. He goes, we live a mile away now. We haven't played in-person D&D since pre-COVID. We could play if you want to come over. I'm like, fuck, I completely forgot about in-face person-to-person gaming. I literally live 1.1 miles from his house. I could have easily packed my bag and gone over. The only reason I didn't was because I had forgotten it existed. I'm so used to this online thing, man. So I was like, next game, Saturday, tomorrow night, we're going to do in person. I got to pack my bag. I haven't looked at my D&D bag, which is an old lawyer's brief bag, to take to court. I bought it from an old lawyer who died. I haven't looked in that bag in a long time. I got to go through it, find my dice, get the folders, get the rules books in there. And yeah, Saturday night, I'm coming over. We're doing it. That'll be the first in-person D&D. Yeah. The lack of warning. That's Willis. Dwayne is Willis. The lack of warning is why I muted and called Joe names for 10 minutes. Yeah. Because I had the consequences of what happened if you talked not in character. The characters these were like, what do you mean pickup truck? Whatever the hell they were saying, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. Update your paper character sheets. We're doing it face person to person. Yep. And you're providing the booze as usual for the hosts. I'll be over. Yeah. Matt is right. It may not be political that slavery and misogyny is not ancient in former ages. but
it
existed forever. But it's not a thing you touch on these days.
Right. It's like a revisionist version of if it's uncomfortable in the history, then we don't discuss the history.
It's
kind of like in your family. It's like, well, we don't like to discuss the fact that your great grandparents ran a speakeasy. Why? I think it's fucking interesting as all hell. Well, it was a criminal act.
Yeah.
Okay. My father's side of the family. Well, we don't like to discuss the fact that your grandfather's brother wasn't really lost fighting on the Eastern Front, but probably was conscripted to be a prison guard, was likely killed at the end of the war.
Jesus.
It's history. I mean, again, it's like family revisionist history is not. I don't want that. I want the real history. It is what it is.
There's the stories you get when you were a kid. And there's the stories you get about your family when you were adult, when you're not at the kids' table anymore, that you hear the reality of what the fuck, who did what, who, when, and why. You know, and it's like, the fuck, he was that guy. I liked him. Oh, he was an asshole. Yeah. Okay,
whatever. Well, when I was a kid, those conversations would often happen in German at the table.
Oh, all right, okay.
Because my mother is second generation born here, but her family always spoke German in the household, and my father was born in Goce, a German-speaking area of Yugoslavia. So they spoke German. So they would speak German at the table. And then I think I must have been about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
When they would talk about something, and I responded in English, yeah, well, I don't think that person's a nice person anyway. And
they looked at me. You knew enough to know it, huh?
Oh, I knew exactly what they were talking about. And that was it for German at the table. And that was it for me learning German. I mean, because I was learning it through osmosis, you know.
Yeah. No. There was these conversations. We all Thanksgiving and whatever holidays, whatever. We got shunted to the kids' table, and then later on in life, once we're able to drink, or at least be close enough to be able to drink, we lurked around the adults' table. Then we heard the real dirty stories of who did what to who when, you know.
and it's funny too. Like the adults' table only opened up, and I'm going to be kind of rough by saying this. It only opened up when the older generation started leaving.
You got more.
And then suddenly, oh wait, there's a new seat at the adult table. I moved up because my great uncle is no longer with us. That fucking sucks.
It does suck. Yeah. Dude, my uncle told my father one time years ago. Well, he says, then my father was, they would call him Junior. He was the youngest. He was Junior in the family. Well, Junior, I got to tell you something. You know, you're 60 whatever years old, and I figure it's time you learn this. So my father's like, you know what? I don't want to fucking learn it. I didn't need to know it this whole time. I don't want to fucking learn what it is. My uncle never told him. I'm dying to know what the fuck it is. I want to know. Motherfucker, what is it? What do we got to know? You know? I'm tempted to do that 23andMe thing to see if I'm actually related to whoever the fuck. I want to know what the hell's going on, but I'll never notice at this point, right?
Oh shit, dude! It reminded me. I picked up that 23andMe during Black Friday on Amazon. I have never said we never actually did it, Rach and I got to do that. It's sitting underneath my desk somewhere.
Yeah, do it up, man. Get it done. And my brother's like, "What? You never heard this story?" Hey, Uncle Dave said this to our father when he was on the boat going to wherever the fuck. They're on this cruise ship. This family, all the older guys in the family went on the trip, and he told them this. And our father said, "I don't want to know. I don't know what the hell it is. I'm dying to know." And sadly, our uncle's passing soon, so he's in hospice. So I don't know what's up. But yeah, we'll never know. And it's one of those mysteries of life, right? We'll never know as the kids. We never experienced it. We never lived it.
Right.
It just adds. I mean, that's life, man. That's fucking life, right? But yeah. Eric, what are you looking forward to in this game? I want to know from you as the character. You have a character. You have a mystic. You have somewhat of a background. What are you looking forward to? This is like a conversation I'm gonna have with everybody. So over time.
Oh, of course, you're gonna put me on the spot.
Of course, I'm gonna throw it at you right now.
Here we are, live. What are you looking forward to?
What do you want out of your character's thing? Not that I'm into background, because as you know, I'm looking for less background and more like what you do is who you are is what you do, not where you came from, right? So what do you want to do? Where you're looking for?
My guy, I think he wants to learn about the outside world. He wants knowledge.
Okay.
Knowledge for the sake of knowledge, not knowledge for the sake of power.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Now, Eric is a mystic. In my world, mystics are weird kind of druids, I guess you could say. At the lower, there's 3 tiers of mystics, right? The first level is, and I've crafted this after the animal kingdom, and then the the civilization, and then afterwards sort of the spiritual aspect. So I'm tracing three evolutionary tracks of mankind's existence, right? So the first is animal. As a mystic, as a low-level mystic, they are of a certain title, and they go out into the world in a equivalent of the adventure up till like 10th level, right? And then after they hit 10th level, they are effectively retired. So Eric is going to have a character right now that he knows if we get to 10th level, he's going to be retired because he worked. At that point, he goes into the second tier of life, which is man's civilized thing. So we're going from Stone Age or primitive to agricultural. And at that point, his character, as an NPC class, gets into the agricultural aspect of life. And then in a third phase of his life, he gets into the mystical part of the mystic's existence, right? And that's where they're stargazers and they know this deep secrets of history because they have a huge oral tradition. And so Eric is stepping out on the first stage of it. So he's the young guy, he's adventuring. It's a dog eat dog world. It's the primitive life. It's existence back in the Stone Ages. It's survival of the fittest. And he's out there doing it. And not many of them survive into the second stage, right? Mm-hmm. Half of them live.
Right. So Eric is going to see how this plays out.
Yeah. And so you're out there, which fits exactly what your character's existence is right now.
Right. Yeah. Of course, your brother's talking shit.
Yeah, of course he has to.
Okay, but Eric's character sits down when he pisses. That's great. I do because I'm using you as a toilet. So it's just a perfect situation.
Perfect. Perfect.
I really do appreciate the vote of confidence, Mike. And listen, you don't want me missing when I'm sitting down to piss in your mouth, man. I understand completely. Wow. This has taken one hell of a turn. Yeah. I can tell your brother was drinking beforehand.
Oh yeah, totally. He started here. You said his wife drove him home to his house. He just kept on going. Yeah. Dude, we gotta play because I want a crossover eventually. You know what I mean? Because all ball busting aside. That's how we and my brother joined our group. It'd be the same level of ball busting that we had on Monday night. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's good shit like that.
Definitely.
So I'm LOLing on my own shit. Yeah, because he's drunk. I call it the beer wall. When my brother hits the beer wall, it's all done. He doesn't remember shit. What I do with him when I'm playing games is after 11 o'clock is when I drop all the biggest stuff on him, right? All the shit that after 11 o'clock he hit the beer wall, he's not going to remember it the next day. He's not going to remember it next week. He's not going to take notes on it. And so he's going to ask me on Sunday, what the fuck happened after 11? I said, I'm not going to tell you. You didn't take notes. You don't know what happened. It will have consequences. That's the beer wall. That's the best. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Well, why not have maybe crossover events? You know what I mean? If we have free people, if less people on one night and other people are available, I'll text out, hey, who wants to join in? We got a crossover kind of thing. I think that's going to enrich the world because you're all bringing different experiences to it. And because it's the same DM in the same world, I'm keeping the same script in terms of the history of the place and the environment and the people and the context you have with these people and the relationships you have. But some people may have different relationships. Some people may have different experiences with certain groups or certain towns or certain areas or whatever. And so if I ever do a crossover in character, you guys are very different kind of game groups, which I kind of look forward to. I really do. I think it would be kind of fucking epic, actually, to get something like that with you guys, Yeah,
it's going to be a fun time, man. I'm looking forward to just seeing how it all evolves. Not just the setting, but the system. We're gonna. Yeah. If anybody's gonna break your system, it's the group that you put together. So
I agree. I agree. I mean, Greg is already throwing out a lot of shit that not shit, good stuff. I mean, by input. I mean, he threw out a lot of stuff that was crap in my system. So he's like, hey, about this? What about that? I'm like, oh crap. And I'm still finding stuff. I with my brother and Dwayne the other night we were playing, and I'm like, gosh, shit, I got to edit this. I gotta change this up. You know what I mean? So it's little things like how much does this cost? How much does that cost? Well, this doesn't make sense in the context of that. I'm like, yeah, damn it, you're right. Shit. But you guys are helping me make my game a better game. You're helping make my game a better game and the setting a better setting. And so I appreciate it. You're play testing something and you're helping me explore something that I'm created, Yeah. I don't know if everybody needs to meet because there's some people in my brother's group that can't hang with you guys. There are relative differences in groups in terms of play style and in terms of ability. And there are guys in my brother's group who wouldn't be able to play with you guys. They would not be good. It wouldn't be a good situation, And that's the case. I mean,
are you saying that our
the Monday group.
Yeah, are you saying that the Monday group might just be a little bit forceful in personality?
Forceful? I think it's forceful personality, a bunch of good players, a bunch of great DMs, a bunch of awesome creators, and everybody except me maybe has published something, right? And so I literally think everybody but me has published some old school stuff. And you've all created a lot of shit out there and put it out there for the world. I've not. And so, like I said at the beginning, I'm a little bit intimidated.
But this is your project where, if you are going to, this is where it is. So this is
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
again, this will be my thing.
And it's great that you assembled these two different groups, because you have the group that will find a way to fuck up your system if there are ways to fuck it up. Yeah, and then you have a group that's going to play it like
differently.
Like a group of average players.
Yeah.
So you've got people like, Matt Jackson and Rob Conley, who are going to analyze shit down to a fucking minuscule. And Rob's gonna go, Joe, you do realize that your inferred math is off. And I know you didn't state the math, but if you go with the inferred math on this, did you see the texting
conversation of about a week and a half ago?
No, dude, I had a silence. First, tried silencing my phone, but then I wasn't getting my phone calls.
Unreal.
So then I went, I can turn off notifications on this fucking thread, dude, because it was like
last weekend, me and Rob, it's like 9 a.m. I'm on a Saturday or Sunday, 9 a.m. You're lucky I'm awake for before noon on a weekend, right? So Rob's, for some reason I was awake, I had to do something. I'm free coffee, and Rob started texting me about the coinage. Now Rob works with computers; he's a fucking genius, and he also works in an industry that deals with metal and ore. So he knew how much bronze weighed by ounce and per mass and per volume. And I'm like, I just had bronze pieces, copper pieces, so I don't fucking care what their big size and how much they weigh. Rob got into a conversation pre-coffee with me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like he's like the weights of bronze versus the weights of copper versus how big that means the bronze bit would be and how big their coins and how much they're worth relative to each other. I'm like, holy shit, what are you talking about? He was fucking genius, this guy. And we figured it out. He changed my entire monetary system before 11 a.m. In 2 hours of a big headache with me. We evolved, I guess, changed into a bronze ingot-based system, copper coins, and I was like, all based on the science of bronze, metal, weights, mass, and every goddamn thing else. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ!
But he'll make it gameable.
He did. He made it a better game. It's amazing.
Mike, I'll take the Pepsi challenge of my playability and style against anyone. My two characters have survived Joey's 5e game from 7-17 without dying with no healer.
That's true.
I got news for you. You're playing 5e. You don't need a healer. Okay. You've not impressed any of the old schoolers that are listening, and I think that Matt Jackson just if you had to be in the game, but Patarai is the winner, because the people that I am playing with in Joe's game are people that when you say think out of the box, these people can't conceive of what being stuck in a box or thinking within a box would be.
No, yeah.
So
you're trying to corral cats,
Yeah.
So, and my brother said it's not 5e, it's my 5e. Speak up. It's true. I have hashed. I have. There's 10 pages of house rules to my 5e. I beat the fuck out of 5e. I've made it as old school as I could possibly make it in terms of as much as I can, which my players would possibly accept. So yeah, it's a little bit brutal. So yeah. It's it's harder to 5e, but it's 5e. It's not old school where you're dead at 0. So I give it that, right? But yeah, I've been trying to kill him for a while now, but he hasn't died yet, motherfucker. So here we are. Yeah, that was Matt. You're right. That was the Potterai thing. That was a fucking awesome session, dude. And so that's awesome, man. That's the thing about D&D is you get together with your buddies, you hang out. Like on Monday, Eric, we all known each other, but we've never gotten together in one room together to talk like that, virtual or otherwise. So
no.
We all fucking bonded. We all hung out. We all busted balls. We all drank. It was a good goddamn time. You know, my brother and Dwayne would fit into this group. The other 3 guys in our other group wouldn't fit into this group on the Monday group. So yeah. In terms of playability or ability as a player and also fit in. But yeah, it's a special kind of bond we got. You know, it's like we've been around forever. We all known each other forever. We all got these bonds. We're all good players. We're all good DMs, and we all think outside the box. That's the key. You know, if you're just running a fucking canned module at a D&D encounter session at the local game store, you're not playing D&D. I hate to say this. I may be causing controversy here, but you're not playing fucking D&D, right? D&D requires, I think, a DM who creates shit on his own. It requires players who are creative on their own and think outside the box. If you're just playing by the numbers, 5e at the game store, D&D encounters where you're going through a pre-programmed bullshit, you know, you're going to come out alive because you can't die in normal 5e. That's not D&D. You're not playing fucking D&D. You know, that's it. I mean, I'm maybe a little bit controversial. I'm starting Edition Wars, but I'm saying it.
It's you know what? In a way, it's something similar to what my creative writing teacher said back in college, back in the late '80s, and it was controversial at the time. But he's like, you know, if you're writing and all you're doing is writing for yourself, like it's kind of like if you're just running a game and there's no depth to it. If you're just going through those motions, you just run for yourself. He's like, it's mental masturbation. He goes, and you might have fun doing it, but you're going to achieve nothing. He goes, if you write for an audience, and if you're a good player or a good DM, you are playing for and playing with your audience. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Matt's saying that the Pottery was one of the best sessions we've ever had.
It was fun.
It might be true, but I'll be honest with you. Once I started doing the whole Potterize shit, I said to myself, because it was going to work pretty well, I need to step back because I need to make sure that we are all embracing. Here's when you're playing in an RPG, you're playing in a D&D session. You are literally part of a team. You can, if you take it and just run with the ball. Yeah, your party might survive and win.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean that you're all gonna have fun. Yeah. And I was thrilled and excited that my stupid Pottery bullshit, and if I then took a step back, as I was embraced by the rest of the party, where I'm watching. I'm picturing Matt Jackson as, I don't want to say dressed in drag, but yes, dressed in drag. I was getting these images, and it was fucking hilarious. And I realized I might have started a spark, but the group made the wonderful ensuing inferno. Yeah, and that I think that is a huge testament to having a group that really hits all cylinders together. Which is, I think we have.
And Tim ran with it. Tim ran with that.
Oh my God!
I couldn't believe he ran with that as well as he did. And especially not, he doesn't drink, so he was sober. My God, he ran with that well. He incorporated it all. We played it well. It was a goddamn fun thing, and that's the thing with a good group, man. You no matter what system you're playing, whatever what setting you're playing, you got a good group of people. You just look forward to D&D night, especially if you're all can bond on different levels. We've all known each other for a decade or more that the OSR has been going on. We pretty much all known each other. That's the key to D&D.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why when people go, well, even a bad RPG session is better than no RPG, or a bad group's better than no group. No, I'd sooner binge watch TV than play as a bad group.
Yeah. I've had elite groups because of that. I mean, some of the members of my current other group that run my brother, we're different. We're different styles. We like different things about it. Some of us have grown differently in D&D. And they are where they are. I'm where I am. I'm not saying anything is better or worse. I'm just saying we're different in terms of what we like, right? And so I'm interested in how this is going to turn out because I'm not at least disgusted with the rule system like I was with by the book 5e, right? Or other editions. Right. So it's my own rule system. It's my own setting. I'm curious how it's going to work in terms of my level of how fun my judgment of how much fun we're having here. My level of happiness and satisfaction with it.
I'm excited to kick the tires and see what kind of havoc we can cause.
Yeah,
I know we will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to do some fiction writing within the setting, man. I'm using this as a. I've always thought I wanted to do something. If I ever did a Kickstarter, I wanted to do a rule set, a setting thing, combo, DM guide, monster manual, blah blah blah, standard shit, right? But I also wanted to do fiction writing because it's sort of in the back of my head that I think I'm not bad. I don't suck. I've seen other shit that people put out and publishers put it out that I know I can do better than that, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I finally got a setting, I got a world, I want to explore it. I think the best way to do it is through running D&D games and writing, and one complements the other. Short stories, little snippets, little things here and there. It just complements. Both help each other, right? Some things you guys do or explore, I make up on the fly, or I create it in advance, and I'm gonna say that's a good little thing I put in the book, and vice versa, right? And so if I ever did a Kickstarter, there will be a fiction component to it. That I promise you, because why not? If it's something that you like, it's something that you can do, and if it's something other people might enjoy, and it helps to enhance the game and the setting and the rule set, why not? You might as well. I think all of us, so many of us D&D guys want to be the R.A. Salvatore of our era. We thought we could have been better, but we weren't. We wanted to be, damn it, I had better adventures than that. I did good shit. I could write, blah, blah, blah. We never did. But for whatever reason, we haven't achieved success. But God damn it, I think every DM has this great book in the back of their head that they know they can write. God damn it, if they ever had a chance, somebody would publish it, right? And so I'm going to give it a shot. This may be the vehicle for fiction writing as well as D&D. Who knows? But I'm going to have fun with it. I mean, I know. I'm going to have fun with it.
That's the whole point, man. If you're not having fun, you're not gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got to go through the motions of wait, did you have fun? Well, not really, but at least it was D&D. No, dude.
And it wasn't. If it wasn't fun, it wasn't D&D. D&D is fun, motherfucker. Yeah, I wanted to be the Larry Flint of my era. It's Dwayne from the game. You can't beat Larry Flint for an ending thing. I mean, we got the whole image of Larry Flint in a wheelchair, protecting our freedoms to publish pornography. Is there any better way to end a YouTube show than that?
No, not alcoholic, but I'll drink to Larry.
If we do not end up in drag at some point, I will be exceptionally disappointed, says Matt. Well, Matt, you could dress in drag all you want. All right. So feel free while you're playing the game to put on a dress and a wig, and we won't judge you. We will all enjoy, and we will call you whatever pronoun you want. You'll be good to go. Okay. Yeah. Well, Dwayne and Matt have met already, at least here. Dwayne and Matt, Willis 101. They were both in the Army. Matt for a long time, and Willis got out while the getting out was good. Well, yeah, they bonded over that, and they're both from somewhere close to each other. They live closer to each other than Dwayne lives to me and my brother. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, the blessing of the interwebs and VTTs.
Yeah.
Allows a lot of this stuff to happen.
Absolutely. All right, guys.
Eric's character sits when he pisses, and that's because your mouth is always available.
Oh, shot! I can't.
It's okay,
wait.
Mike.
I can't wait till you guys play each other within the same game and then try to kill each other.
Yeah. No. Listen. As my son said, I caught my son dropping the F-bomb years ago, and I turned to him in the car, and I was like, "Dude, what are you going to say when somebody asks you where you learned that language?" And without a beat, I mean, didn't miss a beat. He goes, "Well, I'll tell them that I learned it from my mommy." God rest her soul, she's passed. But yeah, I was like, okay. And he goes, but if they ask me how I learned to use it, I'm going to say my father, because nobody can curse like you.
Or I got to say, Eric, you might have a challenge there with Rachel. Rachel does some good ones. Rachel's a master of the C word.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh.
I never seen somebody use this so well. In fact, we were with Professor Dungeon Master. Remember, we were sitting there together, and he was saying something that was the most minor PG-9 curse word ever, or something. He's a nice guy. He's a gentleman. PDM is a gentleman, and he's like, I apologize to the ladies, and there was a Rachel, and his friend was there, and I looked at him like, what are you apologizing for? I said this word. I'm like, Rachel doesn't care about that. I guarantee you. Don't worry about it. I learned better swears from Rachel than you'll ever say.
She uses the C word, the T word. It's
like, you don't give a fuck.
It's like well, I can tell the Irish in you, hon.
Oh yeah. It's like, absolutely.
Oh, God bless.
You got them all down, man. You got a good woman there, dude. I'm jealous. You got a good woman, man.
And no longer an active social worker. I
saw that. Congratulations. If she's hearing me, congratulations, Rachel. You're in the background.
I think she was doing some meditation. I heard some chanting going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. She's finally retired. That's fantastic.
She's going to move on to at some point yoga. Well, yoga. She is going to. I think the game plan roughly is get up one YouTube video a month starting in September.
Good.
For the community.
Okay.
And then she's trying to figure out how she could do this via Zoom or whatever. I suggested she do a Patreon because that way you get stuff out there for everybody, and then people want to do more, they can support. And just low cost. I think there's a market for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, neither of us nor Rach, none of us are lightweights. None of us are going to get blown over with a light breeze. I'll tell you that.
No,
much.
I'll tell you, no.
But
I could anchor a small country, or
but Rachel's idea is that make yoga accessible for all body types, and I think that's important.
I agree.
And so yes, and I have agreed to be on video at some point doing yoga.
Oh my fucking God! Are you serious?
Yes, I've agreed.
Please, I will pay whatever the fuck if you put on one of those goddamn Olivia Newton-John leotards with the fucking.
Oh no! Those
leg warmers.
I'll be wearing like gym shorts, but
come on, Olivia Newton-John leotards, leg warmers. The fucking headband and the wristbands. Come on, man.
No.
Dude, for charity.
For charity. I would do that for charity.
All right. We got it. We've all heard it. He has a vow. He's dressing like Olivia Newton-John for charity. You heard it here live. It's on, motherfucker. I can't wait. Like Eric's like, how do I delete that shit?
No. Listen, for charity, I'll do just about anything there for charity.
Matt Jackson agreed. He's in. Yes. Motherfucker's in. Matt Jackson will be wearing leotards and an Olivia Newton-John outfit.
No. I think he's in for supporting the charity.
Oh, no. I read that as he's in. He's going to be wearing leotards. That's how I read it. I think you all agree, don't you?
No.
Matt agrees to leotards.
He's saying that Joe has to join, so we might have
to
set up the yoga room.
There are no leotards that would fit me, dude. I'd have to stitch 4 of them together to fit my fucking ass. That ain't going to work. All right, Craig Jansen is in. He's gonna be. I want the leotard crew.
You again. I know these people. They're not saying we're gonna dress in leotards, and they're saying yes. If Eric does this, we will support the charity.
Eric, all right, Matt, are you agreeing to leotards? Matt, are you agreeing to yes or no? Type it in, motherfucker. Are you agreeing to leotards?
No. Listen, bingo, supporting the charity.
All right.
No, he's saying bingo, supporting yoga pants for everyone. Well, John Miller might be supporting that. Yeah. He might be like, he'll be like, I'll send Eric yoga pants that are 2 sizes too small.
And my brother's like, I'll get my pool cover for you. You would take the pool cover. Oh, Matt's saying F no. I don't know, Matt. I heard you agree to leotards. Now you're backing out, you wimpy bitch. Come on, leotards, man. Oh, Eric
I never listen. I'll be honest. I'm not going to put Matt into the shit that I stepped in. Okay,
you stepped right into that.
I stepped right into it.
You're drinking, but you're in.
No, I'm not. But again, when you say Chet, listen, I don't need self-respect if I can, raise money for a good charity.
That's
so
a good
yes,
point. I will pay good money, dude. Yeah, dude, I'll swear right now, $100 if you get into leotards and Olivia Newton-John outfit for a yoga class for charity. $100.
Wait. I don't think they make an Olivia Newton outfit that would fit my body.
Find something. All you need is skin tight pants, a couple of fucking headbands, some wristbands, and those goddamn fucking things that girls used to wear in their the leg warmers in the 80s. Matt Jackson, are you in? My brother Michael, are you in? $100 if Eric gets into this outfit.
We're not focusing on me pissing because you are not kneeling.
And Matt, are you in for $100? My brother, are you in for $100 of Eric's and leotards? If you are, you don't want to see Eric's and leotards? My brother backed out, you cheap bitch. Matt, are you in?
No, Matt, listen, Scottish kilt, I could do that too.
All right. Fuck that. He doesn't want to see leotards, I guess.
We will figure out the details of this later. Right. This train wreck is waiting to happen.
Oh, this is fantastic. You gonna tell Rachel tonight? You gonna share this video with her? What she's in
for? I'll just yeah. Geez,
Matt is in. Matt pledged $100 right there. Matt is in. So I am in for 100. Matt is in for 100. Eric, you're in leotards. If you're the good soul that I know you are.
Dude, we'll figure something out
for charity.
We'll have to. Yeah, we might have to do this after the conventions because I don't want to get. I don't want this picture going around at the fall conventions.
All right,
we might have to do this. Do this, and besides, if I'm gonna be in leotards, I gotta. You
gotta lose the weight, right? You gotta shrink the ass.
I gotta look a little bit better.
Like a chick. No, my brother, Michael. I'm not saying you got to wear leotards. I'm saying, will you pledge $100 if Eric gets into leotards for charity? He's in.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what. We just brought this up. I got to figure out what charity.
All right, we are in for $300 between me, my brother, and Matt. We are in for $300 tonight. Eric will be in leotards for charity, doing yoga with his wife, Rachel. All right. I don't care what charity. Eric will pick.
I'm thinking St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Perfect.
If we're going to do something like this. Perfect. And we would do the donation in memory of Doug Ray at that point, probably.
Amen. Fucking amen. Perfect, man. Perfect.
All right. Absolutely. I think that we can't. I don't think that we can end on a more positive, weirder fucking spot than we're at right now. We've also hit the 2-hour mark. So again, God bless everyone that's listening. And I can do that because I've been ordained on the internet multiple times.
Amen.
Going back about 15 years. Live stream tomorrow night with none other than my lovely wife, Rach, where I'm sure we'll discuss the details of this tomorrow on Game Yourself.
Can't wait.
Holy shit.
Oh, I can't wait. This is on.
And I'll be like, Intox. This is what Intox Joe got me involved in.
He had a little weed too. It was good.
Yeah, a little weed, little booze.
We're going up to Massachusetts this weekend, man. Not for nothing. You
I think I'm good.
All right.
That's okay. Listen, it's enough that I've gotten to the point where I'm willing to say I do CBD. I haven't gotten to, so let me just gradually.
All right, you work your way in. That's good. I'm not going to do yoga.
That's right. You don't sit while you piss. Because I'm be pissing on you. Don't worry about it, man. You can't be sitting. You got to be laying down.
This is why I know that we ever got together. We have a good group. Bunch of blockbusters.
Yes. Yoga, beers, and charity.
Yes.
Perfect together. The 3 C's.
Yoga, beers,
Yeah. Folks, we discussed COVID earlier today, so we're not going to go in depth in it. Common sense. That's all I can say. Be safe, be well.
Yep.
God bless.
Amen.
Roll those dice, roll them well. And I'm going to throw this out there. If you have somebody in your life, in the community that you respect and haven't had a chance to thank what they've done, thank them. Because you never know when the time's going to come when you can't thank them. Yep. So thank them now while you can.
You're one car accident away from missing your most loved person forever, dude. Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
make sure they know.
Yeah. And Eric, I think that Matt Jackson, if you can change the title of this, right? After the show, I don't know if you can or not. But Yoga, Beers, and Charity. Is there a better title? Jesus.
I don't know.
Is there a better title than Yoga, Beers, and Charity?
Yoga, Beers, and Charity. Oh, jeez.
I mean, come on.
All right.
I don't know if it's possible, but I don't know if you can turn it after and change
I might be able to.
All right. Lisa.
All right, folks.
All right, guys. Take care. Thank you very much.
Laters.
Bye-bye. 980. Look.